Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, thank you for your support, your watches, your listens. My name is Lee, intuitive wellbeing coach and teacher, and today I'm going to do the February energy reading. Okay, February 2026, and it must be important because I am doing it well in advance. I'm doing it 3 or 4 days before the end of January. So the downloads were coming in yesterday, and we had a bit of a crazy Wizard of Oz storm yesterday. It was quite intense. And whenever the weather does that, it's a massive opportunity for healing, and I certainly felt it. And it felt like, do you know what it felt like? We are in the last thrones, or whatever that word is. Just seeing the snake's tail trying to escape. Do you know, like it's like the last attempt, and it's thrashing here and there. That's what the storm felt like. And it's like we're in the last few weeks of the snake, the year of the snake, the year of shedding, the year like of letting go. Yes, it's the year of the snake, but it's also completing a number 9 cycle. Okay, and we're entering into the number 1. We're not quite in it yet, and that is okay. I love that. I love the permission to go nice and slow in January. The official new year does not start until the spring equinox, which is around the 21st of March or something like that, okay? So we have permission to close out these last karmic loops, and it is quite important, but it doesn't really require a lot of doing. It just requires observation. It just requires being gentle with yourself. It just requires just listening to what your body needs in that moment. I wanted to record this yesterday, and I just woke up. It's great. I had an opportunity. It just didn't happen. Stuff came in that I had to deal with. And it just put me in a really, really low place. But I had to go there, and I allow myself to go there. I allow myself to eat the chocolate buttons and to light the fire and connect with the fiery energy of the goddess Brigid, who is wanting to work with us to really transmute the old energy, the old karmic cycle, karmic loops, behaviors that are not serving you anymore. Okay, but they have to come up, the breakdown before the breakthrough, they have to come up for your awareness so you know where to focus on to close that loop out, okay? So this is obviously the end of January. We have, so this is, what day is this? Wednesday the 28th. There is something important about today. There is some sort of a Neptune, Saturn alignment or something, which is really important because, I don't know if it's today, but it's around about here. Saturn is the Lord of Karma. He governs time, but he is also your structure, your masculine. He's like your father. Mars energy is more your masculine and not anger. Saturn is a discipline. Okay, that was my word for the year last year. It was connected to discipline and discernment. This year, it's freedom for many different ways, but also it's interesting, it's the year of the horse. I was just hearing this word. And so anything that I do, it's really good to have a word of the year because it brings you back to the self. It brings up, does this feel freeing to me? Is this, because whatever feels free to somebody else, to one person, will be different to somebody else. And it allows you to come back to that word with everything in your life. And yesterday something came up that I have been trying to work, but it involves somebody else. And I just have to step back from it now. I cannot do it anymore. If it's knocking me off and I am doing everything I can, it is not my responsibility anymore. But it's difficult, when it involves loved ones. It's really, really difficult. But there's only so much you can do. And that is the big thing that's coming through. I actually had to write notes, This is how important this month is. And so the Saturn is your discipline. I've wrote here, it's you plans, making plans, being organized, knowing your goals, where you're heading. But you're not necessarily meant to make it until now, until we step into February, okay? And then we have Neptune. Neptune is your dreams. What are you calling in? What's your dreams? What are you dreaming about? Bringing those two together, masculine and feminine, is really, really important. One feels like fire, one feels like water, okay? So the 1st of February, yes, there is a full moon in Leo. No wonder I'm feeling it. I'm a Leo. That is on Sunday the 1st. Straight bang in, 1st of February is also known as Imbolc. First, second. I sort of like to think of Imbolc as the 2-2 portal, but it is generally the first or the second, okay? And I can feel like, oh, I'm just so interested in wearing this, just guided to wear this today. The red, the fire, the star. You're being asked to now shine. Leos are meant to be, they're creative, they are fun, they are, do you know, there is a shine element to them where they're not meant to be dimmed. It can also be a shadow side to them. So look up the Leo, look up, you know, full moon in Leo, shadow light, you know, 1st of February, and it will tell you stuff that you're meant to look at, okay? But when a sign comes in, you know, we're really been, and it's a fire sign. Imbolc is a fire festival. Imbolc means in the belly, and so I am feeling a nauseousness in the belly, as many of you might be feeling that, and that's your sacral chakra, okay? And funny, I am, for any of you that are interested, I know quite a few have actually signed up already. I am going to be running live. I probably won't do it again. I've only done it a couple of times. I'm going to be running the Hormone Balance Chakra course program, whatever you call it, live. So from the 9th of February, that week, for 8 weeks. And that takes us right up to the end on Sunday, which is Easter Sunday, which feels very, very symbolic. And I'm going to probably do like a live every week. Depending on the group, what would suit, maybe something like a Tuesday night or something like that. But I'll work with people. I might change it up. If it doesn't sit, you don't have to, obviously, but you get live coaching from me as part of that, plus I've discounted it. So I took 26% off. The code is Firehorse26. So put that in at checkout and it will take 26% off for you. And then you get the extra coaching. So it'll be really, really exciting. And the reason I say that is because I've been drawn to the sacral chakra here. And what we do is 8 weeks. Each week we connect with a chakra. There is a healing meditation for each chakra. It's only 30 minutes. There is a yoga sequence to help really detox and flush the body, but in a nice, calm, nervous system balancing way for that chakra. There is journal questions for that chakra each week. And then there is nutrition and food, but you don't have to follow all. So for any of my clients, they all have the hormone balance and they repeat it over and over and over again. And every time something different comes up. So it is a lifetime membership and it's extremely powerful. There's also extra things in the appendix there. It's something like, I don't know, is it 30 hours or something? I don't know. But yeah, it's there. Have a wee look. I'll pop the link below, no pressure. But it is a really, really good opportunity if you need some guidance. If you're ready to go, you know, deep, nice and deep, but just really, it's gentle, supportive, and it will just open up so much, okay? And the code is Firehorse26 because we're entering the year of the Firehorse, all right? So in the belly, all right? And that is, you know, a fire sign. The sacral is fire. It is, I'm just being shown, you know, we're entering into the year of the Firehorse, which is action. But I wrote here, you know, like, what did I write here? Let me just, so I wrote here because I'm trying to keep myself on. I haven't pulled any cards yet. Online, I've got my cacao here. Okay, lead from the heart. Yes, lead from the heart, not from fear of rejection or approval. That is the Leo energy. That is us moving into this new world, this new earth. Like I did describe us moving from 2025 into 2026 as like the Wizard of Oz, from black and white to colour, from the dark to the light. And it was interesting having that storm yesterday. It was literally like being in Wizard of Oz. Everything was flying and I was like trying to keep stuff down. Oh my goodness. And you just had to allow things to go, to like just blow. Whatever's meant to go, let it go. Right? No more holding on to it, and just trust what's meant to stay is for you. And that is what we're moving from. Yeah, moving forward as the leader. Leo is the leader. It's the lion. It's the leader of the jungle. You're being asked to take control of your own life. I explained this to my daughter, my youngest, this morning. When she was moaning about having to walk to school, and I was like, just trust in it. It's just something that you're meant to do right now, and you will feel better, and it's for you. Okay, so you are in control. Don't let anything tell you that you're not. It's just sometimes we have to slay a few dragons and face stuff that we don't want to face. We are in the void at the minute. This is the void between like one world to the next. Dorothy has landed and she's like, oh my God, there's the yellow brick road. I know where I need to go, but I just need to sit here for a minute. Okay, and that's where we are. And this void is what we want to avoid. And many stuff, I'm getting phone calls and texts, lots of stuff's coming up for people at the minute. Really intense stuff. And I'm writing a blog post about this also. And it's literally, there is some karmic stuff, some past life stuff. Don't worry about the detail of knowing that, okay? Because when you know, and if you're meant to know, you'll know. And sometimes things that come up that are just really intense, it has to be something similar, and you can just know that, okay, that is a karmic thing, but you still got to look at it. You still got to look at but stay in the present moment, okay? Yeah, so Leo full moon, creative, shine your light. Yep. And I can't even read my own writing. Yes, Mars is very active at this time, so you will notice rows, arguments, other people blowing, things like that. We are, the goddess Brigid is a fire goddess, and she just blows everything up. It's a return to yourself, a return to your soul self, a return to wholeness. And that is what we do when we connect with these different parts of us that are not happy, that are sad, that are angry, that are fear, abandoned, that are feeling sensitive. It's about connecting with all of them now and moving forward with all parts of you, okay? Creativity, yeah, creativity becomes medicine. I love that. Play becomes presence, and joy becomes, what have I wrote there? I need to sort a compass. Joy becomes a compass. This is what I was saying in the January energy reading. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it, okay? But keep moving no matter what, okay? And I always say about creativity, I am concerned about our young ones, sounds so old, our young ones these days, and the phones and this instant gratification. They're just, there's no downtime, there's no pause in between for them to get bored, and that is where creativity is accessed. But we still can do that, all right? And then we show them, okay? They will look to us no matter what, all right? So take the onus off, then put it on you, and then go back and teach them, okay? And play is really important, fun and energy and all of that, okay? What else have I wrote here? Yeah, true authentic self. It's time to share your gifts and be your true authentic self, but you need to know who you are before you can share those gifts, all right? And that's what the Hormone Balance will do, or working with me on one-to-one, or the Akashic. Creative passion need to be seen and heard. So throat chakra stuff's going to be coming up at the minute. Frustration, vulnerability, if out of balance, it'll feel frustration. If you feel a frustration or vulnerability, out of balance. And I felt that yesterday, and I just had to pull in, and then I'm so much better today. Then on that's, I'm not going to go into too much astrology stuff. 1st of February, important, slap bang in. Then we have the 17th of February, okay? And the 17th of February, halfway in the month, is when the day of the fire horse starts, okay? So we have the last couple of weeks to close out this end of a cycle, end of a 9-year cycle, end of the snake slashing about, okay? Come to a place of pause, right? And that's a new moon eclipse. So it's straight bang in, the fire horse, new moon energy, new beginnings, eclipses. An eclipse is a massive doorway that opens. I think is it 6 weeks or something? And then it closes. So it's a new moon eclipse in Aquarius. Aquarius is the new heart-centered, is the innovator. Okay, Aquarians, it's all about breaking free from the norm and being different. So what I wrote here is radical goal setting, doing something different, stepping out of your comfort zone. That is the energy, and that's the Leo full moon activates that within you, the being different, and just like, what is going to make me feel my true authentic self, just doing what suits me, okay? And when I get into that alignment, everything falls into place. That is not selfish, okay? Embracing the future, setting intentions that are different, challenging yourself. And it's funny, like, I don't know, I notice this with my kids, if it's hard, particularly just the youngest, she won't do it. And I'm trying to encourage her to step into that pain. It's okay, it's okay. Particularly when just doing a wee bit of exercise, really. But it's with anything, all right? Forward movement with integrity. What is your truth? Voice, throat chakra. Choosing direction over hesitation. you know, it's many of us are scared to make a move or move forward in case we make the wrong move. All right. So, you know, there's no wrong move. Just move forward and you will assess, is this right? Is this not right? Does this feel good? Does this not feel good? Okay. Acting from inner alignment. All right. And that is really what, you know, the hormone balance does. It brings you into this sense of alignment. All right. Yes. So I'm just going to put those notes away because we're now 15 minutes in. And my cacao is getting cold, so I'm going to have to keep drinking it. So, all right, February. That's a little bit of a starter for 10. Let's tune into February, please, and ask for a guide to help us with February. Hathor, light activation. Okay. Acceleration, brilliance, stand in your light. Like I couldn't have said that any more better myself, which I did. Star, stand in your light. Now it's time to shine. It's your time. It is your time. It may not feel like it, but it is. And that's the part of you that's getting frustrated because you're wanting to break free. Okay, from the shackles, from the snake energy into the fire horse. What does that mean in your own life? Hathor she is the cow-headed goddess. Okay. I'm showing that the moon, okay, the full moon, all right? Mother's milk, drinking cacao, filling your cup up, nurturing yourself. Mother winds will be coming up as well, is what I'm hearing. Mother wind energy, all right? Acceleration, brilliance, stand in your light. Many of us are receiving, there's a lot of light codes, a lot of activations. I'm going to try and do an activation for Imbolc this week. But we'll see, okay? And I'll pop it below. I should be able to get it done because I feel like many could do with it at the minute. Just to help you, there's lots of light, lots of codes, lots of energy has been coming in, and our bodies are struggling to process, struggling to detox. If you're being guided to gently just look at diet, look at increasing your water content, look at sleeping more. Just start with the basics is what I would say, okay? In the hormone balance, the first thing you do is you fill out a questionnaire, you send that to me, and I help you with what areas are out of balance and just to start that gentle physical detox, okay? Holy Union, I'm glad this has come up, okay? So this is, if anybody's seen the new Avatar movie, it would be, I recommend it because it's like fire. The last one was water, and that's what we're moving into, the year of the fire horse. There's lots of symbolism in that. Yeah, so that's what they're telling me. There's stuff in that that's going to come into the activation because I've already seen a download of it last Friday. I'll not go into it because I want to keep it for the activation. But soulmate connection, holy union, romantic opportunities. So many of you are looking for a partner or a soulmate. There's an opportunity here for you to step into that, for you to receive that. But it starts with, we're entering this is February. It's the number 2 month. Masculine, feminine balance. It is the month of Valentine's as well. But really that has to start with you understanding your masculine and feminine energy, okay? And I'll say it again. If you want to know or understand your masculine and feminine energy, a really good place to start is to get cafeastrology.com, get a birth chart reading done if you know the time of your birth. And your Mars is your masculine energy, your Venus is your feminine energy. That will help you understand, research those 2 signs to start. But essentially your feminine energy, is your rest, is your flow, is your intuition. My feminine energy is in Cancer, so I love the water, okay? But my star sign is Leo, is the fire, okay? My masculine energy is Gemini. Sorry, I just had a pause there. Gemini, okay, that is the communicator, all right? That is the throat chakra, all right? Geminis, they like a little bit of, what's the word? Yeah, freedom, not to be put in a box, all right? Anyway, I'm not going to go into mine. You see where I'm going with it. And your masculine energy is you stepping into an action, okay? But many of us are coming from an imbalanced masculine and feminine energy. So you have to understand that first and how that works for you. And it's the key to everything. Like it really, really is. But it takes a wee bit of time to understand it. It takes a wee bit of time to make sense of it and to, embody it in your life. But just starting somewhere makes a difference. All right, so that is what's coming up at the minute. I'm just going to pull one more card here and open channel. Okay, so that is what's happening. Many of us, we've all had massive upgrades, lots of energy coming in, lots of light codes coming in, lots of visions, you know, just feeling a lot of stuff, interpreting things before I'm getting a lot of messages about the signs, codes, downloads, and secret information. That is leaving our bodies completely overwhelmed. Okay, and that is why our nervous systems are like that. So you need to ground, you need to pull back, you need to be cutting cords, you need to not, you can't help anybody else right now. You know, the goddess Brigid is connected to wells, and I talk about the well of well-being. All right, not filling up a cup, filling up your well. All right, and I might bring that into the activation, the well and the wishing well, and what you're calling in. Okay, let's see what else is coming in here. So what animal guide is working with us at this time? What animal guide will help us with February? Okay, so we have the cat and the shark and the armadillo. All right, so yeah, massive change is coming in. That is what eclipses bring in, massive change, and we can feel it coming and we don't like it. There's lots of change coming. We are creatures of habit. We feel everything. We have the card of the cat, but it's the lynx and it says secrets, and it is the number 2. So stuff will be revealed in February that you might not like, but it is for your highest good. It is stuff that you knew, and it's important to now see. You might even get some, you know, coughs and colds and sinusy as your third eye starts to see what you're now ready to see. As the world reveals stuff on the stage that we're now ready to see, but it could feel a wee bit shocking, is what I'm hearing. So it's really, really important to protection. The armadillo is massive protection. Number 7, the crown chakra, protecting this area. You know, putting yourself within this armadillo. I would often put the kids within this, you know, so, you know, working on the basic energetics of your energy field, understanding yourself, understanding energy, understanding, you know, what is yours and what is theirs. All right, if you're dealing in relationships, cutting cords, you know, after messages, after, you know, intercourse, after, you know, arguments, things like that. Okay, what is yours and what is theirs? And, you know, a daily sacred practice I talked about, and that's what I teach ultimately in the Horn Balance. The daily sacred practice I talked about in January, you know, could just start with 5 minutes of just every morning. Okay, how am I feeling? And then you will know what comes in that is not yours. Okay, and it's just the basics. Purpose is coming up for many. Okay, so for many, you know, as we look at life, as we're calling in goals, you know, our mission, our purpose, our work, what we do is really, really important. And I'm feeling a real call to help many light workers, to help many healers. Like I help the healers, okay, before they even realize they're healers, okay? And that's why I'm starting to teach Reiki again. I am doing Reiki 1 for anybody interested. I think I have 1 space left on Sunday the 8th of March, which is an International Women's Day, if anybody's interested in that. And I'll pop any more dates up for Reiki 2 and Masters. But please reach out to me, because I just need a bit of a, get my finger out to get stuff dates set. But thankfully somebody did message me and I said, right, I'll do it now. Okay, but I have had a few message me over the past year, and I can't remember who you are to message you to tell you it's coming up. But anyway, hopefully you'll see this if you're meant to. So purpose is coming up. What would you love to be doing? When you know, like I wasn't always doing this. I worked in the corporate world of high stress. I was a sales rep in marketing and PR. And as much as I liked it, it wasn't good for me. It wasn't me showcasing my gifts. It was coming from a massive place of fear. And yes, I was really successful at it. But if it's not balanced with you living your purpose and your divine gifts, because I really didn't know who I was. And that took a lot of, it was surviving, okay? So to be able to do what I do now and love this, you know, I had to start and go, what would I love this to look like? You had to start from that dreamy place of Neptune and go, this is what I would like. I often say to people, what would you like to do? And they go, I don't know, close your eyes. Imagine Aladdin Rub in the lamp, make 3 wishes. Do you know? What are they? And that will lead you towards your dreams, and everything is possible. Okay, I am, living proof of that. Just being able to do this work and live my gift to help people. Doesn't mean it's not easy. Doesn't mean I don't have down days and difficulties. I have a lot, but it just means I have the foundations to be able to work through stuff. And then I believe in teaching that to others, not doing it for them. Okay, so that you feel more empowered. All right. The shark energy is also connected to maybe some energy coming at you. We get a lot of jealousy. We get a lot of people trying to project their problems onto others. They don't mean to do it. They just haven't, they're unhealed. So that's where, as being empathetic and sympathetic is really key to understand the difference. So being empathetic to somebody's situation, sympathetic means you carry it for them. And that's what a lot of light workers will do. So it's really important to understand that difference. Okay. Okay, I'm going to ask this. What is the main thing for February that we need to be aware of that we're working through as a collective? I meant to actually, normally I have the phone like this, so it's going to be funny on YouTube now. But it's interesting. I thought I have it like that, but anyway, maybe I meant to post this on Instagram, which I avoid like the plague. Okay, memories of Atlantis. Oh, and then the card underneath is the Akashic Stargate and Arcturian light codes. Okay, and wisdom. Right, I don't normally use these cards, so let's go into this. We are clearing memories of Atlantis. Spiritual acceleration, progress, and technology. I have tried to explain this to many of my clients. It's a difficult one. And, it goes back to, how do I explain this in such a simple way? Because we have Lemurian energy here as well. And Lemurians were, heart-centered female energy. We lived in Lemurian, very heart-centered, but it was too feminine. It was too, lovely, heart-centered, not enough action. And then Atlantis came in, that era of technology and growth and acceleration. The masculine took over, okay? And then we went into a place of descension. And that is where, many of us, like what's been happening the last 5 years with the pandemic, and I'll not go into all of that, but it was to take us back to clear those lifetimes, that lifetime in Atlantis. Okay, I am really not going to go into all of this now. It's something I will go into my one-to-ones, or when we're doing the support calls, because I have the time to explain it. I have tried to explain it in many other videos, but that is why technology is coming up. But and I was explaining this morning, it's about finding a balance with everything. You can look at AI, but it's about really tune into what that means and sit and observe what feels right to you, not looking to anybody else to tell you the answer. If you go too much the other way on the technology and don't bring it into a balance, you're knocked out of balance. All right, and that is the key, is to hold your center. All right, and there's the Ankh. The Ankh is the key, and I mean the Ankh is the original cross. Okay, that's the feminine is the look at the top, and then this is the masculine. Okay, so but the Ankh is the key. All right, and you hold the key within you when you can work in balancing your feminine and masculine. All right. The Akashic Stargate. There's many different, and funny, aligned with purpose, it says. I'm thinking about the client I was talking to earlier. We're at a crossroads, and I'm hearing all roads lead home. Bring yourself back to the center of all things is a shamanic thing. Sorry, the bin man is cleared and stuff there, if you can hear that. So if you imagine like a crossroads, You know, close your eyes and see where you are. Are you forward? Are you left? Are you right? Just come back to the center of all things, and that is your center. Bring yourself always back to your center, then you will get clarity. If you're not sure of an answer, don't do anything right now until you get the clarity. Okay? There's many different timelines playing out, many different lifetimes available. Okay? And one of the books I recommended to somebody was called The Midnight Library, because, you know, it is like the Akashic, that book. It's a novel. It's really good. And it's like, if you made this choice, if you went back in time and made this choice and went with this person and not this person, or chose this course or not this course, or, you know, took left or right, you know, there would always be difficulty. So we can sometimes look back and go, if I had done this, and that's where we get stuck in that loop. And that's where there is no mistakes. Everything is learnings. Everything is learnings. Okay. And I know that with something that I've been working through the last 18 months, it's been very, very difficult. You know, but anyway, I'm not going to go into that. But so your Akashic is the book of your soul. If anybody is interested in having Akashic records reading, I'll pop the link below. You can have a wee look. You can reach out to me. And it is all the choices and the decisions that we've made throughout many lifetimes. Okay, but that is what's coming up for many at the minute as we close this karmic loop, you know, clearing all those past lifetimes. You know, the witch's wound is coming up for many, many at the minute also. All right, and if you're going through something really intense, you know, it will be the clearing up of past life, but focus on this lifetime and then the understanding of what that means, because it will be coming up in a similar way to be cleared, but it's an illusion. Okay, it's not really going to happen that way. All right. And then we have the Arcturian light codes. You know, Arcturian is wisdom codes coming in. All right. Evolutionary downloads. Many of us are getting so many downloads at the minute, which is why we have to rest. Okay. Which is why I'm just feeling a call in to support like a group of yous in the hormone balance, like a really important group that are just at the precipice, that are ready to step into something, that just need a wee bit of support. It says here of recalling of power, future thinking, calling back your power to get the clarity. Okay, high vibrational healing for the wisdom to come in, these wisdom. And I often say to people, you know, we learn different courses, and I have people, oh, I want to learn this, and I'm like, why don't you just stop and remember? Just stop and allow that to come in. At some point I had to do that. I was always doing courses, and then I had to stop. It's really hard. And then I allowed my natural gifts to come in, but we really doubt them because we're used to being told what to do. We're used to being told who we are by parents. We're used to being told, you know, by teachers, the government, the doctors. So then we disconnect from our intuition. If we don't know, you know, how we feel, who we are, whatever, no wonder. Okay, return to the self. And this is what I'm writing in my blog article. I was hearing that song, Return to Innocence by Enigma. Listen to those words. I'll put them down below. Okay, return to yourself. That's what's happening right now. Return to the heart. The return to innocence is you returning to your inner child. Okay. All the answers lie within. I am going to have to close this up because I have to call a client and then have another couple of coming in person. So anyway, let's ask for, I want to ask for, yeah, I'll do another, 10 minutes. Okay. I know that seems long, but it's not really. And okay, I was asking for, I want to keep this actually. I was asking for a masculine and a feminine dragon to help us. Okay, and we have Archangel Gabriel's dragon brings purification, throat chakra. Okay, self-discipline, will, speed, ascension, and bring joy. You can carry Archangel Gabriel's diamond. And this is what I was saying. This is what I explain about this healing work. All right, I have wrote this in the blog article that I've half written. You know, the best way to describe this work is when you are born. Okay, we're so excited, curiosity, innocence, can't wait to get to Earth. And let me tell you, souls have queued up. For us to be on Earth right now is a privilege. I know it doesn't look like that, but it's a privilege. Many souls did not get, they were, you know, able to come. Okay, that's another thing. So we have came, all right? And as we land, we're like, yay, the joys of spring. And then the heaviness of earth. Oh my goodness, the heaviness of, in your mum's womb, and then you come out, and then we are like this bright diamond, like this diamond here. This bright diamond. There's 2 diamonds actually. There's one there, and you can see there's one up there too. Okay, so this bright diamond. And what happens, that's your light. Imbolc actually is the return of your light. That's what that means. Okay, that's what I'll probably call this. So you are this bright diamond that have arrived, and then life and other people, parents and teachers and projections and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's why your light is hidden. That's why we've hid ourselves. Okay, not realizing, because we're children. It was difficult, okay, to come here and know who you are. So what we're doing when we do this inner work is we lift a layer, we lift a layer, we lift a layer to get back to your light so you can shine. But if you lift too many layers and you rip that off, it's too much. You have to be quite gentle. It can take us a while, and that you have to allow that journey. You have to allow the light codes to come in gently, and we lift a layer, we lift a layer, we lift a layer. But many people are used to instant fix, instant gratification. It doesn't work that way. That is, I don't like using this word, narcissism, but it's like a spiritual narcissism. And unfortunately, the spiritual world it's not even touching this, it's touching the surface, but we need to go deeper, all right? Into the real stuff. But you don't need to go looking for it. It will be around you with your relationships, okay? You don't need to go looking for it. It sort of is spiritual bypass. And when you sit every day and go, right, this is my spiritual practice, I'm going to do this, this, and this, you're not really embodied, you're not really connected to your inner child, the inner part of you that wants to be seen and heard, okay? So I would scrap all of that and just sit with yourself every day, a cup of cacao, and just feel how am I feeling, what emotion am I feeling. Okay, what has just come up that day with my mum or my child or, in work? And what is that? Where did I feel that in my body? What does that remind me of? How's that making me feel? When did I first feel that way? Okay, and see what comes up. And if you don't see it, you're not meant to know. Well, go about your day in a place of observation. Go for a walk, ground yourself, ask to be shown. Calm your nervous system so you're ready to see and heal and look at it, okay? Watch movies. There's symbolism in the language of light. Symbolism is everywhere, okay? Let's ask for the masculine. That feels feminine. Yeah, feminine throat chakra, masculine dragon to help us with our masculine energy. The feminine wants to be heard. Our feminine energy, it's been in a headlock. I'm hearing, because we've been in this masculine world of do. And the feminine, a bit like what I described, Lemurian, Atlantis, the feminine has been seen as vulnerable, has been seen as weak, has been seen as emotional. So she's been hiding. Now it's the rise of her. It's the rise of the feminine. But not in that way, and to blend, to balance and work with the masculine, not to take over the masculine, okay? Magenta dragon, look at that masculine dragon there, and it's pink. I like that. I love that my son wears pink, my partner wears pink. Enables you to bring forward your soul wisdom. Okay, awaken your soul memories and higher spiritual understanding. Prepare for accelerated ascension. This is what's happening. This is why I'm feeling a call to do more, to now support in a bigger way. Because many are ready and they need the support. But look at that fire. Awaken your soul memories, higher spiritual understanding, prepare for accelerated ascension. That sounds lovely, doesn't it? But it's going to feel intense, okay? And sometimes when we feel intense, then we are put off. And we think we're doing something wrong, but we're not. You got to break through that. Break through that. If something is difficult, you break through that. Stepping into courage, okay? And there is the beautiful feminine dragon. Maybe this wasn't, because this fell out before I tuned in. This is maybe for me. Because I was seeing Archangel Gabriel, but I was able to explain the diamond thing. So this is our feminine. Look at that. In the belly. What is being awakened? What wants to be birthed within you that is going to be birthed at the spring equinox in March. Okay. Harness the divine feminine power of creation. There's the creation codes that are coming through. Intention, hold your vision, birth the higher consciousness. Okay. And then as we close, okay, 5 more minutes. This is the shamanic Kyle Gray tarot. I always use this for action to do. So what can we actually do? Please give us some guidance, because I can hear you like, but how? That's all great, Lee. But what do you do? What do you do? Help me. Okay. So let's ask for 3 cards for some actual, real guidance. Okay, so there's more than 3 cards coming up. That's okay. Traitor. Exchange energy to create abundance. It's all about the heart. It's healing the heart. It's all about giving. Giving without needing to receive. You know, I, in my personal life, have went through a lot. I know it's part of my purpose to help others. Particularly in the last 3 years since me and my husband broke up. And one of the things that I have just sat with is just giving, just opening the heart, even when it's difficult, okay? And it always comes back to you, always comes back to you. So abundance, don't just measure, is what I'm hearing. Don't just measure abundance by the finances, okay? You can still feel abundant. You can still, you know, just give without needing to receive, and just have a trust and a faith. Okay. Trader. I want to just see what else is coming up here. Medicine mother. Honor your knowing. What did I write there? Creativity is your medicine. What is your medicine? We all have a medicine. Okay. We all, you know, honor your inner knowing. That the answers are all within. But if you don't sit with yourself, if you don't slow down and get rid of the noise, you cannot hear that voice. All right. She-wolf, look. There's the full moon. There's the Leo. You're breaking free here. This is time to, it's just time to just squeal, to just like, I was shown in this activation that I'm going to bring forward is the superhero us is breaking free. There's a superhero within each of us that wants to break free. That's what it feels like. You know, there's the wolf, it's the wild. She-wolf, unleash the wild within. And this is not just for females, it's for males as well. But, you know, the wolf, that wild version, he or she has been tamed. We've been tamed to not be our true authentic selves our whole lives. Because we wouldn't have fit in, or would have been different. Now is the time to just be yourself. It's a beautiful time that our ancestors, you know, they have came here many, many times to allow for this time in history. All right. Time to be yourself. Time to just unleash those wild passions and desires and your true, like that's what I've done over the last few years. And it's hard, you know, you lose a lot of people, you know, but you're your true self. Then you find people that just love you for you. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Okay. But you have to find that first. All right. And then we have the last card as I close here. Learn from spiritual experience. There's the flower of life. Okay. Creativity. There's the freedom. Releasing the bird. Releasing. The bird is your, you know, it's the crone self, you know, the wild, like that freedom. Okay. Learn from spiritual experiences. So everything around is a spiritual experience. Okay. I love that. Okay, I'm going to close here. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And that gave you some food for thought. and I will pop the links below. And yeah, looking forward to connecting with you soon.